cannot do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That is not going to happen. So let's talk about it. Beliefs are the habits that your brain repeats until they feel like truth, right? When you build a new path and walk it daily, the old one will eventually become overgrown. Your brain learns through three things. It's called focus, emotion, and repetition. Think of that like reps in the gym. You can't flex belief once and then say, okay, I've done it. You have to do it over and over again. How many people went to the gym for 3 or 4 weeks in a row and then stopped and thought, I didn't get any results? It's the same thing with your brain. If you don't repeat a new action or thought with emotion, the neurons involved will not fire together. Believe it or not, forward motion happens with emotion. I'm not an emotional guy. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not that guy I want to lead with emotion, but we know that new habits founded by emotion become permanent habits. So emotion in this situation is good. When you lead with that new action or thought and lead it with emotion, or it happens because of emotion, that actually is going to help you achieve it faster. Each time you do something, this wiring will strengthen. And within weeks, the old wiring starts to fade. Motivation fades fast, but repetition rewires. Even though I'm not as motivated as I was in my first 3 weeks, repetition has created a new neural pathway for me. And this is the power. Historically, they say a new neural pathway takes 365 days. The science is now saying 180 days. But here's the beautiful part about developing new patterns or new paths in your brain. Your brain never stops doing this. It doesn't matter if you're 70, and it doesn't matter if you're 20. Science has proven that new neural pathways are being created all the time and old neural pathways are being left behind. I can name dozens of clients that we've done this with, but there's a few of you on here where you refused with me to do video for months or years, right? And now some of you, a lot of you guys are going to remember this, where I said, I need you to do a video 30 seconds a day, even if it's a video to one of your clients via text. I've had that exact discussion with clients this week. They're like, at first, coach, I thought you'd lost your mind when you told me every video on my YouTube had to be 10 minutes. And I kid you not, and you guys can, if you're the client and you're willing to speak up, you can. This week, the clients, I can do a 12-minute video of a property tour standing on my head now. It's the easiest thing I've ever done. That's a new path. And by the way, their YouTube's going off now. I had a client right before you guys, coach, this is the easiest thing I've done. I'm just doing this over and over again now. And by the way, look, we did these small changes and you guys may think this is small. I have clients on the call that have 1,600 subscribers that are making $200,000 or $300,000 a year. You don't need to have 100,000 people. It's going to be great when you do, but that's not part of the path. The path is doing it over and over again. Here's the beautiful part of all of these video stories. We've repeated it over and over again with so many of you on this call, it's become silly. That's the path. You don't believe, then you get a lead, then you believe, or then you see 4, 5, or 6 of my clients that have done it. Some of you guys did it for 10 years, and then we switched it, and then boom, we went into immediate income. So that should tell you, everybody on this call, that what you've done in the past is not relevant. It's the small changes we make today that are relevant. We're going to get really deep into it now, so you guys better be prepared. These are the 8 pillars. We're going to go over, and the best way for me to explain, this is where I see the most resistance. I'm going to hit you on that resistance, I promise. But as we go through these, you're going to realize that you are literally one decision away from a totally different business, life, or relationship. If you guys don't think that losing 52 pounds in the last 13 weeks has made a huge difference in my life, these 8 pillars, if you apply them in your relationship, in your business, in your health, in your life, it's going to be a huge change. That was the pillar that held me up for 18 months on my health journey. I didn't realize it, but I was in a belief structure that I didn't believe I could do it. I kept trying and I kept failing, and I had something going on in my mind that was like, you're not going to be able to do this. And I had to get over it. Okay, now here's where this gets fun. So here it is. I must change now. I want you guys to raise your hands. Is there something in your business, in your life, in your health, in your relationship that you know needs to change now? Raise your hand if there's something that you know needs to change now. Everybody that didn't raise their hand has a limiting belief that they need to overcome. My biggest limiting belief, the thought that I don't think I have a lot of limiting beliefs. Let me give you a great example. I know that I need to do better on my prospecting. I know that I need to do better on all of these things. There's a lot of things that I know need to change in order for me to hit my goal, whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve. Better health, better relationship, better business. Okay, here's the key to this. If you're not in a situation where something needs to change, that's the first problem. If you think that there's nothing in your business that needs to change, then you don't need coaching. You don't need anything. I'm assuming you're making $5 million a year and you're working 30 hours a week. But if you're saying to yourself, I have a goal higher than what I did this year, and that goal is going to require changes, then things must change now. Once you do this, what must change now? Right? Write it down. I need to be better at time management. I need to spend more time with my family. I need to get healthier. I want to dramatically increase my income. And there's these things in my business that need to change in order to do that. The minute you start addressing the things that have to change, that's the first step. That gets you to the next level. So here's the big problem. This was a problem for many things. There's a lot of things in my life that I know must change, but I didn't think that I had to change it. I thought somebody else had to change. But the reality is that a lot of that was on me. So you have to get to that point where if this change is going to happen, I know I'm going to have to make some change. And if you're not there, you're going to stall right here. Right? So first one is this must change now. Second one is I must change. No one is coming to save you. Not your broker, not the market, not even your coach is coming to save you. There is only one variable that will save you, and that is you. You're the variable that changes everything. So write that one thing that you've been blaming, cross it out, and just say to yourself, that excuse no longer runs my brain, no longer runs my business. How many times, I've got lots of team members on here. Do you know how many times I've heard team members say, the leads suck? Hundreds of times, every single week I hear that from somebody. The last time I heard it, we had a big group on the team. And I'm like, these two team members have closed 11 deals in the last 3 months. Oh, they get special leads. They got better leads. They got lucky. The leads don't suck. You suck. That's the key here. The minute you go into this, that the leads suck, right? Then you're already behind. Every lead's going to suck. When the team member tells me the leads suck and it says they made 8 calls last week, I'm like, your leads don't suck. We need to fix the person in the mirror before we fix the system. Once we do that, your production follows. Let me give you guys an example. I want you to think of one belief that starts with I can't. Any belief you have that starts with I can't. Now I want you to ask yourself these 5 questions. I'm going to give you 5 questions that I think are really important that you need to be honest about. If you say I can't do X, I want you to ask yourself, what's the evidence for this belief? Historically, there's no evidence. 6 months ago, I would have told you I can't do what I just did for my weight. There were many years where I said, I can't prospect for 2 hours a day. And then if you think there's evidence, write it down. And then you can say, what's the evidence against it? What's the evidence that proves it's actually not true? This little system will almost always get you over the I can't believe. The next thing we do is this belief, I can't X, based on fact or feeling? It's almost always feeling. Am I seeing this in black and white when there's probably some gray area? How do I really see this the proper way? What would you tell your best friend, or what would you tell your coworker or your partner if they said this? I can't doesn't exist for me, you guys. I honestly will tell you that there is nothing in my mind that ever says I can't. Now I try and fail at stuff all the time. But I don't fail until I quit trying. That's got to be on the very top of your guys' mind. All right, pillar number 3, I can change now. So we started number 1, this must change. Then we went to, I must change now. I can change now. So I can change now. This is where I got stuck on many things. I was trying and I didn't realize why I kept not changing. It was actually a belief issue that I had in my own brain. I didn't think I had this belief issue, I'll be honest with you. But when the moment hit me, when you get smacked in the face with it, all of a sudden you're like, I've been sabotaging my own change and this has to change in my brain. And the minute this happened for me, basically 13 weeks ago on my diet, boom, it was over. Now I don't say I can change now. I just say I have changed. I will never have the challenges I had in the past with some of the things that I've changed. There is no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. Here's the most important thing for you guys. You're not broken. Most of you are just untrained, right? Your brain doesn't check your birth date before learning something new. It doesn't matter how old you are. Do you know how many times one of you guys have said, I can't learn AI, I'm old. That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard in my life. Every time you take a new action, that's proof that change is possible. You just don't realize it. You guys need to write this down. I'm learning to blank, or I am blank, and then fill in the blank with the thing that you avoid or the thing that you think you can't do. The difference between telling yourself that I am this or I'm learning this is so powerful in your brain that it should shock you the minute you start doing it. If you go into every listing appointment thinking, I suck at listing appointments, I hate to break it to you, but you suck. But if you go into every listing appointment thinking, I am the listing machine, then you will become the listing machine. And there's no way around this. These are facts. The good news about this is you just have to change the way you think. Bruce Lee said it best. Never do negative self-talk because your brain doesn't know even if you're kidding. That was so powerful as a kid for me to learn. Never do negative self-talk. I'm learning to ask for referrals. I'm learning to prospect. I'm learning to shoot video, or I am a YouTube master, right? It doesn't matter. I am learning to be a better spouse, and I'm doing that every day. Like I'm learning to be a better coach, or I am a better coach. I have clients that have had hundreds or more death threats. When these things happen, I go into that bathroom next door and I go to the mirror. I'm like, I'm alive, excited, full of energy. I'm a force for good. I'm a force for nature. I'm going to kill the rest of this day. And I'm just trying to convince myself because I've been crying for the last 30 minutes. I don't go to the next call thinking, oh shit, I'm a wreck. Do you know how many clients, how many of you guys wake up or have something really bad happen in your business or have something bad happen in your relationship and it ruins your whole day? And you jump on the call with me and you're like, coach, you're not gonna believe this deal fell apart and we have 3 other deals tied to it. And I just haven't gotten out of bed for 2 days. Do you know what I say to those clients? You guys are on the call. I say, how would you like it if I came to the call and said, hey, I had a really bad day, so this coaching call is gonna suck. You'd be like, but I'm paying you. I'm like, yeah, you're working too. Stop allowing this bullshit in your mind to affect what you do every day. Do you know how many clients I've had that said, I'm terrible at social media? And then we finally reframed. I had one where we reframed it to, I'm learning to be visible. Oh my God, what a powerful reframe that was. Because I guarantee you, here's what happened. Within 90 days, that client had landed a listing for $1 million directly from her YouTube. Here's what it is. Your confidence doesn't come first. This is where most people make the mistake. The reps come first. You do this over and over again and the confidence will come. The neuroplasticity in your brain needs to upgrade its wiring, right? So the first few days when you do something new, it feels clunky because your old wiring is still active. You're still on that old dirt path. But when you keep going, your brain flips. And all of a sudden the new wiring is easier than the old wiring. It's the simplest, most effective science that we've known about for 100 years. And for some reason, everybody struggles with it. You're not too late or too far behind. Just one consistent decision away from a comeback or away from your best year ever. The only thing stopping you is you.